Sony's one's on. Come on, come on. This is the one you're looking forward to, isn't it?
Welcome to V3.
Sony. That was clever. That was a clever start.
I like what you
That
did
was a
there.
pun.
I saw what you did there.
That was
puns.
Ubisoft would have paid money for that.
So with Microsoft, they had a few puns in there.
Let's not start with the wrong ones. Let's talk about Sony.
Let's talk about Sony. 3D TV. I think that was possibly one of the most interesting things they announced.
I think that was the most interesting announcement of all of E3.
It could look that way.
I've just
I'm
remembered
hoping for something a bit more exciting outside of the conference.
Just remember that my favourite announcement was in the Ubisoft one. I entirely forgot about it. Yeah, it wasn't important. Carry on.
Was it by any chance a Microsoft announcement that they're making a Shadow Complex 2?
That didn't happen.
Oh.
No.
Okay, I hope you're watching these in order, because if not, this could get confusing.
Yeah. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. After this one, we're going to watch the Nintendo one, okay? That's all you need to know.
Yeah. The Microsoft one.
And their minds are blown! An eternal loop. Anyway, so, it's 3D TV. 24-inch 3D TV for $499.
I like it. I'm a big fan of 3D TVs. Being able to put it out and get as many people involved is a good thing. It's probably a good move against Nintendo because now, rather than their...
Nintendo are playing the best moves against Nintendo right now.
That's true. But I mean, the 3DS, I mean, it wasn't looking particularly strong anyway, but now it used to be that the best way to get hold of 3D cheaply was a 3DS. However, that was bad 3D cheaply. Now you can get hold of good 3D cheaply. I mean, I've already got a pretty big 3D TV, so I'm not overly fussed, but I'm excited as a 3D filmmaker that that will massively increase the chance of 3D content being usable.
Yep.
It means that people can make films more for 3D, knowing that 3D DVDs and Blu-rays are more likely to be sold. It's a good thing for the market. It's a good thing for computer games rather than the millions of computer games at the moment going, we're going to put lots of money into 3D TVs so that what can play them in 3D for 10 seconds before he goes, oh, I don't really like this baseball game. I don't get how it works. Superstar, this is actually quite nice in 3D.
It is.
I'm looking forward to
Just Cause 2 was very nice in 3D, but that was running on Nvidia.
Yeah,
that was PC version.
Yeah. Anyway, so
3D TV was interesting. If they bundle it with a PS, because it's officially a PlayStation TV, which I quite like. Oh, the split screen! The best thing about it was the split screen. I'll tell you.
Yes.
You've been talking for ages. If you have your glasses, and he has glasses. You know a split screen, and you play my play, and it divides along the half line here. That was probably not the half line.
Upon that half
Or
line.
upon, sort of there like that. No more. You have one each. You don't get the 3D image, but you get a 2D image. Both of you looking at the same screen. Both of you can only see your game. That's
very nice.
That is very nice. It does kind of get rid of screen watching, but
it's true. But I mean, I think there's certainly some real perks to feeling like playing the game is a lot more usable.
Yeah, it doesn't have to squash everything down, because it always makes it feel cheaper when it squashes everything down. It's like
I also think for particularly things like co-op, that's really going to help, because co-op never really worked particularly in. I think split screen, or at least when it was competitive, split screen sort of works when you've got co-op and you really want to. They constantly try and fit you all on the same screen, and you're just there going, no. For instance, if you were to create a Ratchet and Clank game and you wanted to make it co-op for some insane reason, yeah, I'm aware they pushed it a bit too far, but nevertheless, if you could split it into two sections. I'm sorry, we're being attacked by secret people at the moment.
Yes, fine.
Fantastic.
God. People I live with decided it would be much stealthier to slide a piece of paper through the side of my door because they know we're recording, which is the most distracting thing ever. Carry on.
I hope you add in the whoom over the top of us, which of course is now silly because I've now said it and you have already seen that joke the second time.
How about we just, I'll do it randomly through the video. There we go, that was
okay.
I'll forget to do that. I'm probably watching this
We've
back.
put a lot of editing in this.
I've been awake for how long?
Too long.
Too long.
I didn't get too much sleep either.
You had 3 hours.
2.5.
Reset your clock. Reset your clock.
Nevertheless,
PS Vita, let's go there. We've done the whole 3D.
Okay.
No one cares about 3D anyway, apart from us. But we're not you. So. But
talking about split screen.
There was were there PS3 games announced? There were probably PS3 games announced with shoulder pads, and Uncharted was quite nice. I quite like the watery thing, but that's a brilliant game, and you should buy it anyway.
It lost lots of points for having spiders. If you remove those spiders, you may be able to talk me back into liking the game.
We'll see how the spiders. I'll go check that out.
And particularly in 3D, the 3D's definitely going off for that. And possibly, I might be getting some new people round. New friends to play that bit of the game for me.
I'll do it. I'm fine. I'm cool. If they're little ones, I'll be fine. No, the PS Vita, which we have to talk about now, officially named, officially awesome, and officially a real big.
I'm playing with your back touch.
That's not what it's called.
Rear touch.
Rear touch. Love that. The back touch pad is called the rear touch.
Because that's not in any way suggestive.
Not at all. It's a wonderful looking piece of kit, especially the back panel with the X's and the squares and the circles. The back panel looks really nice, and the touchscreeny thing that it is, the rear touch. But it's a gorgeous system, and it's stupidly cheap. I mean, it's stupidly cheap. Everyone's going, oh, that's quite a nice price. Yeah, it's quite a price. Don't let Sony know we think that's really cheap. That's what they launched the price of the PSP 7 years ago for. Which means that they are making a lot on it. That's one thing we pretty much know for certain. They are making a hell of a lot. It's got 5.2 inch AMOLED screen, which is the one of those really nice, beautiful, very low power consumption. So the battery's going to be a lot longer. They said the battery's going to be about the same as a PSP 3000, so longer than the 3DS. Processing power, it's about 4 times more powerful than the iPad 3 is rumoured to be. So essentially, I mean, the iPad's what? How much is your iPad? $500 to $800. $800 for the 3D version. Yeah.
I can come up with a swear word that I wanted to use.
About $800 for the 3G version, I think. I don't know, I don't really care. There was an Apple conference on while this was on anyway, and they went, oh, we've got a new operating system, we're only charging you 30 quid for it. Alright. But...
In hell, they had an Apple conference.
It was! There was the Apple big W...
In
Apple
hell. In heaven.
Hell.
People went to E3.
Sony. Yeah, that's the dividing line. But no, it's pretty, and it's stupidly powerful, and it's cheap. And I mean, I think
cheap. We should clarify. He's trying to talk about the Sony system here, and not an Apple product.
No,
because an awful lot of Apple fanboys sound a lot like you at the moment.
It's true. I to be perfectly honest, I saw this the first time I saw this. I went, that's really pretty, and now I've got the specs. I went, that's gonna be expensive. And now it's not expensive. I'm like, yep, Sony can shut up and take my money. It's retails for 230 quid here in the UK is the price that people have put out for it, which means I'll probably get one for about 200 notes if you go on Amazon and pre-order and stuff. So 200 quid for a new PSP that is entirely backwards compatible with the PSP Go. I own a PSP Go. I'm that guy. Quick thing, you American people don't know this. Most of you, I'm assuming, are American. If you're not American, not saying American. Anyway, the PSP in the UK, if you bought a PSP Go, you got 10 free games with it.
Microsoft was bought out by Rupert Murdoch. We didn't mention that. We'll mention it in the next one, the Microsoft one.
We're doing that. I thought
we'll do that one next. Nintendo's next.
We'll sort it out.
Then I can talk about how I don't like big games on big... How I like big games on big screens and little games on little screens. If I mention that in the next one...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That'll be fine.
Carry on.
I quite like big games on any screen. I'd play a big game on a stamp, to be honest, because I quite like... I got nice headphones.
There's no way that's going to work.
I know, stamps are really small.
Try watching a movie on your mobile phone, and then try watching a movie in a cinema, and tell me that they're the same experience with a straight face.
Yeah, but one's cheaper.
Without Botox.
I've had Botox. Full time.
Yeah, but it means you can keep a straight face easily.
It's true. Multi-face.
Anyway.
When you're in the heat, you'll melt.
I think it's competitively priced, however...
it's more than it's aggressively priced, I think is the term to go over it. Because competitively priced kind of go, 300.
I'll agree, it's very strong, it wipes the floor with an iPad, but I was never going to buy
It's not supposed to fight that. It's supposed to be fighting the 3DS.
Well, the 3DS is dead. The problem is that I think the iPhone...
You heard it here first, folks.
The iPhone
dead.
is what it's really competing against, and they have small games on a small system rather than big games on a small system, which means they will win by default.
No, because it has the Android App Store on there. The Sony Suite is basically a version of the Android App Store because it's Android-powered machine, so it's essentially a HTC.
But I'm never going to buy it as a mobile phone, so it doesn't matter.
No, right, because it's a lot cheaper to get a crappy mobile phone and just glue it to the back. No, that's a touchscreen! Oh my god, you've defeated me, Sony! Oh. I quite like it. To be perfectly honest.
To the side?
The
really big, giant pockets!
Am I a Sony fanboy? But I'm a PC fanboy. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I still don't know what you launched. Still. It's been a day. We haven't eaten or changed clothes.
Yes. And luckily I trimmed my beard to exactly the same length.
Luckily I'm in hobo mode. Oh, I totally forgot I've got a beard. I'm in hobo mode. This is my Tim Schafer. I don't have moustache. Three
podcasts and we finally got onto beard length.
I called this Tim Schafer my beard. Well, to be perfectly honest, we've sort of just gone, well, yeah.
I did shave before E3, but now look at it.
It's the thing where you go, this was really bad, and you can point out bad things, but when everything was, you kind of they're going, we expected those, and that bit was okay. There's nothing really to pick on. Yeah. Was anything really stupid happened?
Yeah, E3 told us how. EA told us how wonderfully they were at not just shoving famous people on the stage. And to their credit, I didn't recognise any of the sports personalities they put on stage.
Or the football ones they put on the screens. Or the ice hockey and basketball ones they put on the screens. That's the AA conference. We've lost. This has just gone gibberishly.
When you said hockey, you meant American football.
Did I?
I think so.
I'll be honest, I don't know or care about SSX3! SSX3? SSX! What's SSX3? This is my favourite one. SSX looks cool. They essentially, last year they were like, look, it's SSX and now it's dark and gritty. And they reject your glasses. Stop showing at the screen.
I can't see where my location is. Screen now.
There's a red dot!
All we can see is the reflection. No, I mean, I can't see. Dan's clever system, despite having an HDMI output, and I have a HDMI cable that will work with his TV, so we could...
I have a mini HDMI cable.
So we could be watching ourselves, so we could locate ourselves. Effort. But Dan instead uses his screen on a black backdrop, so we can see the reflection in the screen. And now he's removed my glasses, and I can see mostly, but I cannot see our reflection in the screen. So I don't know if I'm still in frame, here, or here, or here, or... Okay, I'm guessing I went out. If not, I'm sorry.
I'll be perfectly honest.
I did the best I could.
I wanted to capture the confusion on our faces from the Nintendo conference as fresh as possible, and trying to dig up. Is he making? I'm going to watch his back, and I'm going to just. I'm going to split screen this, and I'm going to record this half with me as well, and I'll just be talking to me the whole time. See, the unfortunate thing is that my thing's gone to a screensaver, so I have to go here to check the time. Really. Okay, guys, thanks for listening to the Sony conference. Get off! Thanks for listening to the Sony conference. It was great. That's all the time we have.